Lost his wife, his independence, and his life.
Channel 5's Alan Campbell reports it's all because of one deadly decision.
We came to this intersection of Jackson and Junior to tell you the story of a life taken by a drunk driver. We didn't know we'd find another. A few months after we interviewed the one surviving victim, Jesse Guerrero, he died from his injuries. We spoke with his mother, who says Jesse still wanted his story told.
And it was just one of those things where you stop at the light, right, left, and all of a sudden, bam.
29-year-old Jesse Guerrero thinks of a time that was.
I love those memories, and those are the memories that, keep me going.
He wheels himself around his home from room to room. That's not always possible.
Let's get in there, at least I'm not paralyzed.
He tries to find the positive. I
wish I could be back to having my independence, to be able to, not having to depend on people,
He married the woman of his dreams in 2010.
Oh, she had a lot more compassion. She had a lot more to live for, you know what I mean? She didn't, she just loved everybody.
Jesse and Michelle Guerrero tied the knot on December 4th. It was a celebration of new beginnings and a life the young couple had always dreamed of.
Walking her down the aisle to the little ceremony, it was just like, do you take her? Yes. You take him? Yes. Okay, let's get it. And we were gone. Fast
forward nearly 2 years to the night of June 30th, 2012. Michelle Guerrero was hosting a baby shower.
All day we had been doing errands, getting the balloons, getting this, and dropping this stuff off at another friend's house.
By 2 a.m., the party started winding down. Michelle picked up the phone and called Jesse to pick her up.
Everything was going great. I remember her laughing. And I've driven that road thousands of times. I decided to take the back entrance because it was faster, so I stopped at the light. I looked, the light's red. I looked my right, my left, and then that's it. It was a weird feeling, a weird feeling.
Emergency lights lit up the night.
I wake up and I see people entering the car, and to my recollection, I was just at the stoplight.
Their vehicle was hit.
I didn't get into too much detail what I saw in the car, but, I saw that she wasn't doing too good.
Emergency workers tried to save Michelle. It was too late.
It finally sunk in, that she had passed away.
The driver behind the wheel was 25-year-old Belinda April Cruz. This wasn't Cruz's first time in court. We asked for a jailhouse interview. She denied our request. Today, she sits in a prison cell charged with intoxication manslaughter and intoxication assault with a vehicle.
There's a lot of young offenders, 18 to 25.
Judge Jaime Palacio sees thousands of DWI cases every year. He's also thrown a few cases out of court.
Over the year, we've dismissed quite a few for the officer not showing up.
His next decision doesn't come easy.
If they don't show up for the second time, the court has no choice but to grant the suppressions on these cases, and those cases are dismissed by the DA's office. Yes, it can become a problem.
That means if you're arrested for a DWI in Hidalgo County, there's a 1 in 3 chance you could get off.
You'd hate to, dismiss those cases, because those are the cases that either the defendant, they can be a harm to themselves later on or to somebody else, on the freeway.
Somebody like Jesse and Michelle. Belinda April Cruz has 2 prior intoxication arrests.
I don't know, legal system, if they would have caught it, if, maybe they were taking her license, which, 9 times out of 10, that still doesn't stop a person from doing anything. But who knows?
We looked through DWI first and second offense records in Hidalgo County for the last 3 years. We found in 2013 there were 3,204 DWI cases in Hidalgo County. 1,101 first and second offenses were dismissed. That's a third of all DWI cases were thrown out of court. In 2012, the same thing, nearly a third. For 2011, the same, a third of all DWI cases dismissed.
In the case of repeat offenders, there's nothing you can do to stop them.
Hidalgo County District Attorney Rene Guerra has reviewed hundreds of DWI cases.
And oftentimes people that should be convicted are acquitted. But that's the system that we all live by.
We wanted to know why officers aren't showing up at court. We asked 2 Valley police chiefs.
I got zero tolerance for that. You know, our approach is that if you make an arrest, you need to follow through all the way to court.
You know, it's a very important thing, you know, any crime, you know, for the officers to be present.
We're told police training is another reason for officers not showing up.
A lot of times because of the scheduling, a lot of times, you know, they say it's court's going to be at this time and it doesn't happen. So then the officer has to come back and then go another day.
And if they eventually got their case dismissed because the officer didn't show up, well, that's fault on the police department.
Jesse told us he thought of Michelle every day.
No sorry will ever erase this, you know. And it's hard, it's hard. It's hard.
As we told you at the beginning of this story, Jesse died a few months after this interview. It was complications he suffered from his injuries that caused his death. He still wanted us to tell his story. As for Belinda April Cruz, she's eligible for parole on December 30th, 2018. In Edinburgh, Alan Campbell, Channel 5 News at 10.